Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching channels Beam and Our Focus. Today is on the Fulani Herdsmen. There's been allegations almost on a daily basis of attacks by these group of people in certain regions of Nigeria. But let me just come back to you to continue from where we stopped.
Now, all of us know that for many years now, death squads have been roaming around northern Nigeria, killing uh, people wantonly. A lot of it is attributed to Fulani herdsmen. But I think any intelligent person who analyzes the situation must come to the conclusion that that is untrue. That cannot be true. The scale of these killings, particularly in Jos, in Kaduna, and the nature, the fact that what we have here seems to run along religious and ethnic lines, where you have Christians being killed in southern Kaduna, or where you have Christians being murdered and reprisal killings in Jos, which is a city which is divided into which has a very significant Christian population, I should say. Obviously, we cannot divorce all of that from what is going on in the Northeast, in particular in Borno State, so-called Boko Haram. And it seems to me that all of these killings, all of these deaths of fellow Nigerians like you and me and everyone who's on this hangout right now, it should concentrate our minds as to what is really going on. That is a fundamental problem, the fact that Nigerians don't think a lot and they don't analyze situations very carefully.
If we're not going to call it as it is or try to give a broad term and say, no, this is what it is and all that, I've gotten people tell me that no, don't call it this, don't call it this, don't call it that. Well, for every step of the way, there have been different people coming to kill, and they all have different identities. The only identity that remains static is the people of the North Central that are dying. Those ones, it doesn't change. Minorities are the first to lose their lives in everything before it spreads, and then every calls, yes, not every. I want to make it very clear that not every Fulani person is a wandering murderer. I mean, there are innocent people. There are people we're willing to dialogue with over this. Even the Fulani chiefs are tired. They come for meetings and then they return, and then it happens again. And they attend meetings, and everybody's looking at them, pointing the finger. You guys are doing this. You people are doing this. You people are doing that. And these things do not help their community either. But this time around, by the time you target this, it's very important that the community itself stands up and purges itself of these criminal elements. I don't know if I'm understood properly. If the community is uncomfortable with being tagged this, then it has to recognize that there are criminal elements that run into these other communities, do this, and then run back. So if they're not willing to purge themselves of these criminal elements.
Our elite and the security, we need them to push the political will, because I'm sure that all the security agencies have information of what really is happening. But the political will to execute whatever plan to be able to solve this problem is what is lacking. Because I wouldn't believe that our DSS and our military intelligence and our police don't have information to track down what is happening. But the political will from them to be able to execute. Nobody has been arrested up to now. This is like over 2 years. These killings have been going on and no one has been arrested. And you will say that they don't have information. So they should be able to step up the political will to execute such arrests, to be able to execute whatever plan they have to be able to solve this problem. Because seriously, the country is going down in this way, and our leaders are seriously quiet about it. So we encourage our leaders to come out of their shell, exhibit that political will to be able to solve this problem. They don't know that once the middle belt is down, then the whole Nigeria is going to be down. So it's better now to be able to do something. People in the villages are tired.
I think the first thing we need to do as Nigerians is to face the situation very clearly. My sister Benedicta made a couple of points earlier saying that we shouldn't generalize. No, I'm not generalizing. I need to make that clear. I'm just looking at the situation and analyzing the facts as they stand. If I may draw her attention to the fact that we didn't have this problem of Fulani herdsmen killing Christians, or killing Hausa Fulani Muslim herdsmen killing Christians 10 years ago or 20 years ago. No, we did not. And if I may also remind her, and this is just a question of analyzing the situation carefully, Fulani herdsmen don't go around with AK-47s or automatic weapons. Of course they do not. Everybody knows this. So where are these so-called Fulani herdsmen getting these weapons, if indeed these killings are being perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen? That is what I say when I say we Nigerians don't think deeply or carefully enough about situations. And I think that is the first thing we need to do.
I don't know what else we can do. And then let's also look into the different cases in different states. In places like Taraba, it's when the killings of Tiv people happen, the displacements happen. We have cases this year where we get reports that displaced people trying to return are singled out in a community where other people live. Let's have that very clear. In a community where other people live in Taraba State, you have Jukun and other tribes. In those communities, Tiv people are singled out. In Plateau State, it was Birom, and everybody was like, oh, it's a Birom problem. Well, last week, Mango people had these attacks. And then we have it moving to the southeast, where people's farms are invaded, and if you complain, you get death in return. So it is good to actually call this out. Let us call this out. Let us face this particular phase that we are on. Let us have it out on the table. Let people discuss and realize that no, this cannot continue. If you just try to rope it in and generalize it with everything, this particular one, what will happen is that when everything is still over, let us point it out. It started before this Boko Haram menace. It will continue. So let's have that out of the way. If you want to generalize it, what will happen is after the Boko Haram is hopefully destroyed, we will still have these killings here and there in the North Central that would have hidden under that and will not be challenged, will not be faced. So I want that out of the way. We're not just thinking randomly here.
I think the media has a great responsibility to push these issues out there. We need to see it in the newspapers, in television, on radio. It needs to become an issue of discussion so that the entire population of Nigeria gets to know about this issue, and then maybe that's when the government will begin to take it serious. Because another issue is the level of silence. You hardly hear government, the leaders and the political, the people in the political class talking about these issues. It just seems like, to me, it seemed like a social media campaign at the time, until I began to realize that this was really a major issue. I sincerely pray that the security agencies will step up their game. They don't need to wait for government. This is an issue of killings. Communities are being attacked and people are being killed. So I don't think the DSS and the police and the army should then wait until they get a directive from government before investigating these issues.
Indeed, there are elements that are interested in, I would say, domination and political expansion, to put it lightly, and human lives are paying for it. So if we can follow this trail, that will be one thing. And the security agencies too, with respect to the operation in Jos over the years, it has been, should I use the term, monetized? So we have a lot of people not doing what they are supposed to do because, number one, it's quite, profitable. War is good business. And we've had several reports where, members of our security forces have not really put in the attention they're supposed to put in to end this, because of how much is being generated from this. We also want that to be looked into. We want the government to pay close attention. Number one, and well, this brings us to the last election. I would like to be daring and put out that a lot of people from these regions were very concerned about the president, Mr. President Buhari, being that he's from this region. That was a major concern. Now let's not mistake this particular concern for hate. No, it's the fear that what would happen to us now. So we need Mr. President to assure these people that his presidency back and allow this happen. We need that reassurance.
All right, guys, thank you all for coming on the program this afternoon and sharing your thoughts. We do appreciate them. But that's how we have to end it on this segment of the program. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be joined by security expert Demola Olarewaju to get more analysis on this issue. Please join us again.